and Betsy and the Glenview Chamber of Commerce for having Brad and I on today and setting up this meeting. My name is Amani Solesky, and I actually live here in Glenview with my husband and 2 kids, and I'm a local business advisor with a company called Thryv, and I work in the Chicagoland area. And I've been with the company for well over 20 years. So I've been here a long time, and I've had the distinct opportunity to work with just hundreds of businesses throughout the years to help them grow their market share, and with a custom marketing program and also our state-of-the-art software where you can communicate and stay in constant contact with your clients. And I know we're kind of in a state right now where we have so many changes, right, in the last 2.5 months, and we're going to continue to have so many changes. Since the pandemic, the world is just really becoming a lot more virtually and digitally savvy, and we have to continue to adapt. And some of the questions we'd ask are, how are you going to set up your business for success and to compete and grow in this new economy? And then what are you going to do to make sure that you stay top of mind during these uncertain times? And so during this presentation, we want to give you some tips and best practices, and we hope you come out with insights on all the things that are listed here: how to maximize your online presence, get leads and manage the leads, communicate, basically how you're adapting and conducting business via these times, and manage your online profile for improved visibility, improve your online reputation and manage the reviews, simplify mass communication, social media marketing, and then transacting socially distant transactions. So those are some of the things that we're going to touch on today. At this time, I'd like to introduce my colleague. Some of you have talked to him already, Brad Bourne. He is a digital engineer and lead strategist with our company, and he's going to take you through some tips and best practices on how to continue to adapt during these times. Then after, we'll be able to answer any questions that you have, talk about your business specifically, and then eventually, if you do want to set up a one-on-one, we can obviously do that as well. Brad?
Absolutely. Thank you, Amani. I appreciate it. And again, thank you, Betsy and Megan, for having us. We greatly appreciate the honor of being a part of the Glenview Chamber and being able to present today. We'll send out a recording of this meeting afterwards, and by all means, anyone who has any questions, feel free to send in a chat or unmute yourselves and just ask, since we have a small group today. And in the meantime, if you don't mind just making sure you're on mute, and again, if you have questions, just unmute. So my name is Brad Bourne. I'm a digital engineer, lead strategist here at Thryv. And so my experience is that I have 18 years of experience with helping local businesses across the Midwest. I grew up in Chicago. I actually live down in Bloomington Normal, and I actually am responsible for the relationships and the strategies put in place for our business advisors with our clients across the Midwest. So I spent a great deal of time in Chicago and surrounding area. Who Thryv is and why we're presenting today, why we're relevant to speak, or credible, if you will, to speak to the situation going on here that we're all facing as local businesses or organizations, is that Thryv is actually a conglomerate agency of marketing services and software. So software as a service. So we have a long history of, actually since 1886, with helping local businesses with different predecessor brands and companies, if you will. But our actual claim to fame, if you will, is that we were actually what we refer to as the original search engine. So before there was Google, MSN, Bing, Yahoo, AOL, there were internet directories were formed from yellow pages and phone books and all of that. And we actually were the pioneer of that. So we started the biggest network of internet directories with yellowpages.com and many different brands and names. And Yelp is in our network, for example. And so when the search engines came about, we were basically asked to provide and share within them information for businesses and help them with getting businesses advertising and placement on the search engines across the World Wide Web, if you will, with AOL, MSN, Yahoo, Bing, Google. And we're the largest provider of helping local businesses with marketing and managing their online business profiles on search engines. And so for the past 130 years, we've been helping local businesses in one form or another. In the past few years, we've been helping them with software as well that we've branded as Thryv, which helps them with nurturing leads and nurturing existing customers to help with revenue and help with cash flow, and help with efficiencies within their operations. So a little bit of a history with us before I get into that presentation. So we'll get right into the presentation of Thryv, Adapting Your Business During Uncertain Times, and we'll go ahead and get started right now. So the first thing that I want to cover is just a few resources, and this is available for all businesses, all organizations of any size. Thryv actually is a partner with the Small Business Development Center, as well as SCORE, as well as many other organizations to help with small businesses, not just during these times, but at all times, and whether it's starting up a business or an organization, or whether it's expanding or maneuvering in difficult times. So speaking to crisis on small businesses, because small businesses do generate 44% of the United States economy, economic activity, it's critical to make sure that we're all lending a hand for any small business and organization whenever possible, keep them structured, give them guidance whenever possible. So Thryv is actually producing hundreds of webinars like these over the past few weeks, past couple months, to do as much as we can to reach a solid message for organizations and businesses and provide them with the resources and support. And of course, we couldn't do this without the local chambers, without the Glenview Chamber of Commerce, for example. So thank you so much for the opportunity. So we're going to speak to those resources and should provide some guidance and support in doing this. So small businesses find creative ways to adapt in common challenges. So of course, declines in sales revenue, limited cash flow, unexpected expenses, staffing issues, higher than normal healthcare costs, and of course, damaged assets are all things that a lot of local businesses and organizations are facing right now. And we're going to speak to ways to help overcome this, prevent this, minimize all of this. So right now, there's three main steps that we ask every business and organization to do. And one is seek help when you know you need help. When you feel that there's a problem, the sooner that you get help, the sooner that we can come to a solution or a resolution. Taking advantage of available resources and knowing what the resources are. And then third, perhaps one of the most important, is also communicating with clients and your prospects. So we'll speak to the specific major steps and some ideas and guidance and best practices for these throughout this presentation. So with seeking help, the Small Business Development Center offers free counseling to small business owners. Thryv is a partner. We provide free business coaching, business advising, as well as the Small Business Development Center. So we highly encourage any business seeking guidance and support to reach out and definitely check out their website, americassbdc.org. Of course, Chamber of Commerce, the Glenview Chamber, of course, is a perfect network, if you will, of resources. And for those that are viewing this video from outside of the area, chamberofcommerce.com/chambers for lists of your local Chamber of Commerce that will also offer support. And then government contracting support from SBA.gov, as well as other resources for loans and different fundamentals, grants, things of that nature are also available here at SBA.gov. And then from other resources, when it comes to financial, as I mentioned, with funding and loans and different types of programs that they're offering, the SBA. And then other things that you can do is, of course, asking vendors to defer bill payments. So if you are struggling with a certain financial matter, many vendors are offering to defer bill payments or provide some type of assistance with that at this time. So being sure that if you need help, you're reaching out to those that you have bill payments to and making those type of efforts. The next is for emergency aid, whether it be for employees or support or family. Redcross.org is a great organization that has many resources on their website as well for additional. They provide, of course, financial and counseling assistance directly and have many, many resources as well across our local communities. And next is communicating with clients. So now is the time to over-communicate. If you're not sure about sending a message or what to say, we highly suggest that you say something rather than nothing. So now is the time to make sure that you're letting people know what your stage is, if you're open and easy to do business with, and how to do business with you or how to interact with you. So it's one reason you're probably getting tons of emails right now, like everyone is with certain organizations, and that's good. We want the messages, we want communications from those that we want to do business with or we've done past business with. So don't be the business that fails to communicate. You want to get your message structured and organized and send that out. And so we're going to give some best practice with that. So stats with email marketing is that 99% of consumers check their email on a daily basis. And 91% of U.S. adults like receiving emails from companies they do business with. So email is a logical form to communicate that you're open or what your process is for conducting transactions, and that you're doing them in a socially distant manner, and that it's very easy to do business with you. So the more that you can communicate to your customers how to do business with you, what method of communication you prefer, what channel that looks like, and even give a glimpse of what a transaction with you looks like so that they can feel safe and at ease and okay with either coming to your premises or conducting transactions virtually via your website or other places. So we'll show you some examples of that. So with email messaging tips, it's important to note that the average person spends about 11 seconds reading an email from a business. So use an honest subject line. Make sure that it's short and sweet. Make sure it's transparent about how the crisis will impact your business and clients and how you are making it easy for them to do business with you. Don't sell. Don't necessarily just put a host of all your products and services in front of them. The first and foremost method of communication, if you haven't done this yet, is to identify that, hey, we are open and this is the best way to communicate with us and conduct transactions with us. After you do that, then of course, you can share with them your services, your products, promotions, and that. But first and foremost, conduct basically an intro of that you're open and this is how the model works for doing business with you. And of course, sharing your contact information in all possible ways. So in an email message, you'll want to have your social media, you'll want to have your phone, your address, your website, and the protocol. Are you doing business with me in person? Are you doing it with me via social media and website? We're doing virtual consultations. How does that look? So making sure you're kind of spelling that out very simple, but keeping it short and sweet because you've got about 11 seconds to hold their attention. An example of this from a pressure washer business, just to show an example, is that you're outlining specifically. And of course, you're bringing attention right away, a couple quick bullet points. We all know that we have short attention spans often when reading emails or doing just about anything when it comes to looking at a device. And so making sure that you stand out with different colors, bolder font for some headlines, for example, like this is showing. And of course, maybe underlining certain things throughout or highlighting. So specifically putting in here, no human contact needed. We can do transactions from 6 feet apart. Remember to wear a face mask. Remember that. So as we're opening up and more and more businesses are allowing people on premise and such, making sure they understand the outline and what that looks like. What doors do you go in? What doors do you not? That type of thing. Where do you wait? Do you wait in your car? Do you come into the building? Do we have chair space 6 feet apart? So these are the type of things you want to think through and put this into your message for email marketing. The next thing we want to speak to is text marketing. And the reason that text marketing is very valuable and perhaps even more valuable than email marketing is that 98% of people, Americans, open up text messages within 2 minutes. So 2-minute receipt, there's no other method of communication that has such an effective and powerful and fast response time for being able to actually be viewed by somebody. So 98% of the time, 2 minutes, they're reading it. Same thing, you want to keep it short and sweet. Obviously, we're limited on characters with text. We have 160 characters to work with, letters and spaces and numbers. And you want to make them feel personal, but stay professional. You want to be transparent about, again, how it's impacting them. And again, you're not selling. You want to basically give perhaps links within a text message to maybe a landing page or a page of your website that has your COVID-19 policy or the fact that you're open and now taking transactions and such. So again, short and sweet with a link to a more detailed page is ideal for text marketing. But of course, that headline, those first few words are critical that you keep it short and sweet and exactly what the topic is about. So an example here just speaks to a doctor's office, for example, speaking to the process for waiting in their cars instead of a waiting room. And so you can see an example here. So again, in an effort to keep visits as safe as possible, asking you to wait in your car, please use this platform for text messaging upon arrival or call us. And again, you can have it via multiple communications. You can have it via a link and it goes to a landing page or a website that has more details. But the idea via text is that it will allow for two-way messages very quickly and getting that message in front of them within typically 2 minutes. Social media, of course, is another great channel for communication. And so we highly recommend using all of these different channels. With social media, there's 2.5 billion mobile social media users globally, with 1 million new users every day on mobile devices alone. So 46% of people rely on social media to make purchasing decisions, and 72% of brand followers are likely to buy in the future. So for those organizations and businesses that haven't really jump-started their social media or don't have many social media profiles managed or claimed, now is the time to do that. So again, with over-communication, and it also includes social media. If you don't have this, some of the main social media platforms started for your business yet, specifically profiles that you've created and have a way of communicating on them, now is the time to get them started. Invest this weekend or this week into creating social media profiles or asking for help from someone to do that with you, because this is a way to get exponential reach and visibility for your message, for your business, and that improves, of course, visibility, which improves revenue. Popular social media platforms, of course, Pinterest, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Yelp, LinkedIn, and there's many more. These are some of the core ones that we see the average small business utilizing to take advantage of communicating with their clients, with their prospects, and also helping to drive revenue. Depending on if you're a retail store, of course, with Pinterest and Instagram able to show products very easily, or if you're into short messages with quick response times and speaking to specific services with Facebook or Twitter or Yelp, of course, even managing with getting people to review you on Facebook and Yelp and Google My Business, and LinkedIn for B2B, it doesn't get much better. So making sure you've identified the right channels for your business, or again, you've sought help, whether it be from the chamber, whether it be from Thryv or local business advisors and coaches. We're all here to help you grow and reach people, reach your existing customers, as well as your future prospects, your future revenue and clients. So with social media, here's an example for social media tips, making sure that you've first and foremost updated your business hours. So make sure that now you're stating it right in your profiles. Of every profile you can manage, your hours are posted, easily accessible, that it's updated. If there's temporary hours, same thing, you have those mentioned as well. If there's certain exclusions, or if there's certain limitations, like maybe senior hours during certain times, things like that, have that very visible as well. And post with a client-first mindset. So only share content that will find helpful in interacting with your business. So we'll be saying this is exactly what our protocol is. This is how you do business with us. This is how our differentiators as well. Being genuine. So not trying to hide anything or putting like a specific sales pitch into your post without first and foremost thinking of the well-being of your clients. So always being genuine and interacting with your followers, responding as quickly as possible to questions, to suggestions, things of that nature. And again, it's not about trying to sell, it's about trying to help first and foremost, and then getting your message across with your services and products. So that's a best practices and good protocol. And so a good social media example here is to be a post that says, we're open to safely serve you. We want to keep you safe and let you know our business hours and safety procedures. For senior citizens, these hours. For the public, these hours. All orders delivered, things like that. So where your waiting area is, if there's delivery, things of that nature, how your services are being provided. If you're a service-based businesses that are going to homeowners or businesses' place of employment or their homes, residences, then speaking to the technicians or your employees, what their protocol is, the level of safety, the fact that they're temperature checked, that they're wearing face masks, that they wear gloves, that they wear booties, whatever it is. So safety protocol being spelled out immediately in every channel is really key. So learning customers you're still open for business and that you're sharing the exact steps they're taking to make it safe for everyone. So with websites, the next stage of communication we want to make sure everyone is taking advantage of is updating your website. If you don't have a website, creating a website or a landing page. There's plenty of options for doing this very inexpensively and easy to maintain. And there's also great service providers such as Thryv that can help you with doing this all as well. So there's 30% of consumers that say they won't even consider a business if they don't have a website, if they don't have a way of showcasing their product or their team or their services, if they're not looking reputable online. And 46% say a business's website is a main factor and if they feel that they can trust that business. So very critical you have a website that spells it all out as far as that you're open, your hours, how to do business with you, and all that same protocol we've been speaking to. So some crisis website tips, just like social media, excuse me, updating hours and contact methods. How do you get in touch with me? Is it phone? Is it email? Is it filling out this form? Is it social media? Is it coming by during these hours? Adding a pop-up or a new headline explaining how the crisis is affecting operations is a great example as well. So making sure that you have something that comes across the screen when the page loads, perhaps stating, click here for COVID policy, or this is our hours now, and this is the way you do business with us, that kind of thing, but something that is immediately visible, whether it's something you click on or something that slides across the screen, something like that is a great idea at this time. Implementing online scheduling has never been more important either. So making sure that if you're scheduling out appointments, whether it's for a beauty salon or a dentist or a power washer, it doesn't matter your business, but making sure that people are easily able to schedule with you, that they don't have to wait on you, that they can easily make a request and get it to you, whether it be an email or online form or online scheduling directly linking to a calendar. But even if you don't regularly conduct appointments, using it for online booking for deliveries, pickups, scheduling advanced meetings, even phone and video consultations, for doctors using telehealth, for plumbers being able to even perhaps they do virtual consultation before they get there, anything. So all these different options are just things to consider and make sure that it's being communicated on your website. And then creating content. So the first and primary reason of creating content is to inform and educate your prospects and your existing customers about your practices and, of course, your differentiators and your services and products. As an added benefit, Google loves detailed descriptive language. So for search engine optimization or getting your website to rank on search engines for the services you want to rank for, the cities you want to rank them in, if you have creative content that happens to be published frequently or updated regularly, this is an added benefit for your search engine rankings as well. So not only are you getting your message across to those that come to your website, it's also getting your website found and more visible to those that may not have come to your website otherwise. So updating frequently and putting the services you provide, how you do business, all of those with specific keywords that you know you want to be found for, also mixed within your content, will help you get more ranking in search engines as well. And Thryv and others offer services that can help you with getting your website to rank through helpful writing of copy and content and proper structure of doing this. So an example of a website pop-up would be something like this. We're in this together. Because of COVID-19, we want to let our customers know we're actively taking measures to protect and so forth, going through their policy and procedure. Click here. So an example of a pop-up, for example. And then before I get into that, I just want to cover this real quick here. The examples that I want to show here is pull this one up here. This is an example. So in this case here, they're offering, specifics of buying gift cards, specials for June, and then of course, very visible, a COVID-19 update with a specific page. So just to showcase kind of an example here. So very specific, very spelled out on how to do business with them, how to reach them, and also provides not only the safety measures, but also buying gift cards in advance. And so something that Google is now offering, for example, is the ability to place links to buying gift cards within your profiles. And having gift cards eligible on all your profiles is also a big way of getting revenue and building out a channel for future revenue as you're opening. So making sure people know that you are open to gift cards from maybe buying them at a discounted rate or getting an additional bonus of a gift card is a great time to do this right now because it is a great way to drive more revenue, more marketing, and exponential reach as well. So that's a really great way to go about doing that. But I just want to show an example of some COVID-19 messages and how we built pages for that. And you can have different levels of pop-ups and utilize those for different ways. The other thing I wanted to cover, sorry about that. Let me get back to my screen there real quick. The next thing I wanted to cover here is the fact that our software, Thryv software or software in general, can be used to help facilitate all of this. So for example, Thryv software allows for organizations of any size to communicate at one point and via many ways. So in other words, one software, one application, an app on your phone or on a computer or tablet, all you need is a password. And then you can get in here and you can reach all of your customers or all of your lists of customers or prospects or different segments of your client base with one message. And it can go out via text, it can go out via email, it can go out via social media and be done all with one application. And it can manage the entire process. So place where you write content, even giving you suggestions and themes and templates to do, and reaching them via text message and email and social media from one place, and tracking all interactions in one place as well. So, for example, what Thryv software has is instant communication tools that keep clients up to date, staying in touch as things change. It also helps with keeping cash flowing and continue getting paid by offering perhaps links to buy gift cards, helping with widgets can show up on your website, for example, and also widgets can be built out into all your major business profiles. So we talked a lot about social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Yelp, many different places we can actually synchronize little widgets that show up within your profiles as well as your website for online scheduling, for online payments, for a client portal to log into so that they can view specifics relevant to their relationship with you, their transactions, and as well as making payments, as well as estimates, proposals, and so forth. So it has the ability to synchronize kind of all major functions between your relationship with your customers. It also has the ability to update your hours, promotional messages, coupons, as I mentioned, gift card options, all throughout all your major profiles and social media in one shot. It's kind of a master profile for your business that can synchronize all your major search engine profiles, your internet directory, yellow pages profiles, your review apps and profiles, and then your GPS and navigation sites and apps profiles, as well as voice search databases. So everything from Amazon Alexa to Apple Maps to Google My Business to Yelp to Facebook, you name it, it's synchronized with one master profile. You make one update, whether it be adding an image or a slogan, a coupon, changing your hours, you do it in one place and it feeds it everywhere. So that's the power of Thryv and the power of some software with automation to kind of get your messages across quickly and manage them without having to manage 100 different sources, 100 different passwords, one place that does it all. So that's an example of that. And then the other thing I wanted to cover real quickly was the ability to manage your business with your profiles. So one quick example here, and this is a friend of mine, owns an Indian restaurant in Champaign, Illinois called Kohinoor. And what we do with Thryv is help with managing those profiles. And so this is suggestions, whether you're doing it with an agency or a partner like Thryv or doing it on your own, but just wanted to give some suggestions. So making sure that you're taking advantage of posting regularly, not just on Facebook, but also on other profiles. Google My Business, for example, offers postings. And as I mentioned, not only is it good practice to reach your message in front of your customers and your prospects, but it also helps to drive new revenue because you're getting exponential, somewhat viral marketing by posting frequently. So not just your safety practices, but also your differentiators. And so posting on your profiles is critical. It helps to get more visibility. So for example, this business here, as I'm logged in, I can see that they've had 80,000, almost 81,000 views in the last 28 days. I can see specifics on actions, but taking advantage of knowing how many people you're reaching and what ways they're using to see your information. Is it through search engines? Is it through social media? Is it through just coming directly to your website? So there's analysis and ways to do that if you log into your different profiles or if you partner with an agency like Thryv that can help you in doing that. But it is critical to know, how am I reaching people? What's the most effective way to communicate? And of course, taking advantage of communicating with them in every channel possible that you can. So making sure you have good up-to-date information on your profiles is really key. And again, managing either one-to-one or with a software that can do them in one place is very, very helpful. So specifics of your Google My Business profile, for example, as I mentioned, is getting gift card information in here would be key. Looking at your insights and finding out how many people are searching for you by name versus by specific keywords, and going through and seeing the specifics of this data. There's a lot of information you can gather from here, which helps from your marketing and helps to understand the way that consumers are thinking of your business and making sure that you're being found for the words you want to be found for. You may find that you're not being found for the words that you really need to be found for or that could really help your revenue model. And then the way that people are contacting you, analyzing if you're showing up well in maps or in search results, if they're calling you, getting directions from you. So looking at your analytics of your website, of your profiles like Google and Yelp and Yellow Pages and Facebook is very helpful for the business. And so you can either do this with a free consultation from Thryv or like agencies, or you can analyze them going through your profiles and just reading through this data. But these are very helpful tips for understanding how to communicate with your clients, what to communicate with them about, and how you can help increase revenue and prepare for what we call the surge. As we're all opening up and kind of staged opening, preparing for the surge of revenue that a lot of businesses are going to get is key. So staffing, how should we staff? When, what days, what hours? This helps us analyze that data by giving us data as far as trends. It also tells us what people think of our business. It tells us popular times. There's a lot of data that these profiles show. So Google My Business, Yelp, Facebook have some great analytics and insights for you to review. And if you want help understanding them, by all means, we provide free consultations as well. So some good information I just wanted to share there. Some other services that may be of value is, of course, with helping your website ranking in search engines. We offer the search engine optimization services that help you get found for specific cities that you wanted to, specific keywords. We track where you're ranking currently on Google, what position, what page, and then we help you get to page one through writing fresh content like we talked about, speaking to your end users first, and then secondary, having added benefit of keywords, if you will, that help you rank for Google on page one once we get there. So we build credible content with copywriting and then do content backlinking as well. So that helps with getting ranking. And then, of course, also ranking on search engines from your business profiles like we talked about, and synchronizing them across all major sources, your social media, synchronizing across all major sources, as well as looking at the search volume on the search engines and helping you with any paid ads, paid marketing on search engines, internet directory sites, social media, voice search, online newspapers, many other sources, retargeting ads, social media, so forth, video ads, YouTube. So marketing services, software as a solution, as a service. We're here as your business advisor whenever you'd like here at Thryv. And I'll put Amani Solesky, your local business advisor. She's, again, like she said, lives in Glenview, provides personal in-person or web meeting consultations. And we're here to help you any way possible. And again, it's been a great honor and privilege to speak with you guys and present this information. And I wanted to just open it up for questions at this time. Feel free to unmute yourselves if you have any questions whatsoever.
Hello.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you have a question?
No, that was a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem at all. No, it's okay.
We busted Jerry answering his phone.
It was
Megan's
good.
Megan's got a question in the chat room, looking for tips on how to increase our numbers for our e-blasts. We'd like to get more people to open them. We run about a 35–40% open rate, and we would love to see something different there.
Excellent. No, that's a great question. So this is the Thryv software, and this will kind of help me answer that question. So this is what it looks like from a desktop, from a mobile. It looks more like this with icons and easy to view. But from answering that question, when we work on email campaigns and getting people to open them, and we've spent a lot of time researching all of this, we help about 400,000 businesses across the United States. And with that, we do a lot of data research as far as what is the effectiveness of a message like this or marketing in this way. And so the headline, of course, is key. Since we got about 12 seconds attention on email, that headline, typically being a specific action-oriented headline, is key. So telling people in a few words what they're going to get out of that message and what they are expected to do after it is what we like to see. So for example, what we do is we provide themes for each major industry and each different organizations we work with. So whether it be an organization or a business, whether it's, like I said, here's some examples, fitness trainers, plumbers, or if it's the chamber directly, whatever it is, we have a whole bunch of themes we use. And when we work on a headline, so I'll just show you one example here, we have a call to action on exactly what you can expect. So register for digital workouts. They know right away it's a digital workout. They know they're registering for it. So things like that are very effective. And again, we're keeping it short and sweet. I don't have a 10-page article here. I've just got maybe a couple paragraphs or maybe some bullet points in here. And then designing it with an action button is key. You'll notice, for example, those that have claims or Google My Business, that they get emails from Google. They typically have in a format very much like this format. So they kind of use the same exact model where it's short and sweet, action-oriented. Typically, there's only one image or infographic in there. So we kind of keep it simple and designed for not getting too busy and getting lost in the weeds. So that's really some of the core tips that we suggest. So basically, action-oriented message, short headline, to-the-point message, action button with a specific action. They click here, and this is going to happen. And so that's how we recommend our email marketing. And very similar with text as well, short and to-the-point messages. And one suggestion or one resource we also have, and this is for anybody, even those that aren't Thryv clients, but just giving some ideas, is we have a resource center set up. It's designed mostly for sharing all the things that Thryv can do and how to utilize it for our Thryv clients, but it also has great resources for those that are maybe using other resources or not using any software at all. But let me pull this up real quick here and show this one. Learn.thryv.com, there we go, is a resource that we've set up. And right here, there's a place for COVID-19 resources. And so you'll find these in a lot of sites. Facebook has a COVID-19 resources section. We do as well on this resource site. And what we have here are some examples and stats and templates for adjusting in these times and adapting. So one of them is an idea bank for email templates by categories. These are some of our most popular. We've got listed right in here, so specific by industry, which gives a good best practices guideline. Some of these are tried and true, if you will, where we've tested these in different scenarios with clients and beta tested in focus groups before obviously launching them to our clients. But these are highly effective templates and themes for industries. So whether it be for a restaurant or an attorney or a financial planner or any organization. So we've got different options here. So some specifics on how to do it. If you're using a Thryv, it just copies the template right in there. If you're not using Thryv, it gives guidance on just copying and following a model like this, short and sweet. So that's the example here. We also encourage using dynamic insertion like Thryv can do, which automatically inserts the person's name. Is just basically a template or a theme that goes out to everyone, and certain components of it automatically get inserted with relevant information to that individual. So in this case here, you'll see like hours that might vary or name and things like that. So just some examples. But no, it's a great question.
I got a couple more unless anybody else has
great.
questions. I see Amani's talking, but I can't hear her.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Oh, I knew it. There's more in the chat as well. That's fine. Nobody's listening to me. There's more in the chat, and there's some other questions that people had about Google My Business listings, Brad.
Yep, I'm seeing right now. That's perfect. Okay, you got it. So let's see here. So can you talk more about Google My Business listings? Sure. So Google My Business listings, every business is entitled to a free Google My Business. Every organization and business is probably getting calls left and right right now with automation saying, oh, please set up your Google My Business for $500 and we'll do this for you. There's a scam. Google will never call an organization or business to create their Google My Business or charge them for it. It is absolutely free. And so again, Thryv helps with setting these up with businesses, again, at no charge to get a Google My Business set up. The added value is that you can synchronize that powerful profile to 70 other major databases. And that's where Thryv value comes in from a listings management or profile management perspective. But for any business, and it doesn't matter what it is, so if it's, I'll just do an attorney, and I'll do Glenview, just to show a quick example here. So when I do a search here, what we're seeing is the maps, and then underneath the maps is what we call is the 3-pack or the local pack. And these are powered by Google My Business profiles, or the profile information that Google knows about a business in that particular geography. So Google always wants to give the user what's local and relevant to them based on what you search, and also based on what they know about you, which is usually from your GPS or your IP address. So your physical location is a big part of it. If they think you're looking local, they will usually show a map marker here. If there's someone that they see as very credible or very relevant to you, they will show what's called a knowledge panel, which will take up the right side of the screen on a desktop device, for example. That person will kind of be almost not endorsed, but I would say it's pretty darn close to being endorsed by Google when they show a knowledge panel. So if I search by somebody by name, I would usually see that knowledge panel. If Google thinks that that person is the most relevant thing to me, then they'll show that knowledge panel. And so by creating a Google My Business, that's going to help you with high visibility. So the things that are getting someone ranked in a Google My Business or in this local pack, 3-pack that I'm showing here, a lot of people ask, why is this person showing here? Why am I not showing here? So these are the factors for getting your business or organization to rank here. And this comes from 18 years of experience, by the way, of creating profiles, managing literally thousands of them for businesses. As I said, we work with 400,000 clients nationwide. We are the largest provider of managing profiles and advertising for local businesses in the search engines. So this data here comes from, one, the location of the business or the address that is entered in the Google My Business profile for Google Maps. Even if you choose not to publish your address, the address that you use for verification is used in a component in your ranking. The next thing it's looked at is the content in your profile. So when I was logged into a Google My Business section right here, for example, on this info section, you can see all the details and attributes of the business. Products, services, hours, promotions, all the data that you want linked in here is all right in here. And so when you're doing this for your business, making sure you have as much robust, relevant content as possible. Not keyword stuffing or just listing out words that you think are good for Google, but writing in there for your end user. This is a description about my business. This is what I do. This is my differentiators. You choose me over a competitor based on these reasons. So you kind of spell it out in that manner. You're mentioning keywords, if you will, words that you think people would Google along the way, but you're ultimately writing it for your prospect, the next customer that you want. And as much information as possible, because content is king with Google. Google's like a content eating machine. The more content that you give them, the more they reward your business and ranking. So putting that information in there. And then the next thing is reviews. So Thryv, for example, is another great value of Thryv and our software is basically the fact that it has automation for getting reviews and for managing the reviews. You can do it individually by basically asking customers to review you on Google and Facebook and Yelp and various places. Now, getting reviews to Google is the #1 way to help you improve ranking fastest on Google. If you get reviews here, you'll notice you're going to tend to see people with the most reviews showing highest in the list. For example, this attorney is showing with 54 reviews. This one's with 1. This one's with 38. Now, the factors used here, again, is location, the content in their profiles, the volume of reviews also, and also the traffic to the profile. So how long they've been around, how much traffic is coming in, these are other factors. But the main factors, again, is the content and the location, including those reviews. So having a process in place to manage your reviews, know what people are saying about you, getting reviews to the right places like Google, like Facebook, like Yelp, but again, especially Google is critical. So what Thryv software helps with that is, for example, managing your reputation. It has the ability to have all your reviews in one place, all your major sources put in one place. We can respond to the reviews for you, or you can, but the triggers there that we can help you get the reviews and then manage them after you get them. So having like an automatic campaign that after every transaction automatically thanks your customers, for example, automatically can send them a review asking them to click this button and it reviews them right on Google. That's all doable with software as well. So anything you can do to manage your reviews, getting more of them with automation is ultimately a really good idea for your business. It helps you get more visibility and ultimately leads to more revenue. So that's I guess hopefully an answer to that question. I know it was a little bit long-winded. And then social media platforms best to advertise your business. So I really like obviously Facebook is one of the most popular, of course, without question. You know, the billions of people that are using Facebook every day, you can't ignore it. So creating a profile on Facebook is key. So whatever your business or organization is, make sure that you've gone and you're not using a personal page. You first start with a personal page and then you create a business or organization page as an extension off of that. The administrator or admin has to first be your personal page and then you create it at once off of that. And again, Thryv and other agencies are able to help with doing this and managing the whole process. But Facebook would be first where I'd start for any business or organization. After that, I would make sure I have a solid LinkedIn profile. I would also recommend considering Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest, especially for those that are product oriented. And when I highlight images, Twitter for many updates. If you're going to use many updates and have kind of short messages, Twitter would be good. Facebook and LinkedIn would always be my top two in almost every organization, to be honest. But again, considering Snapchat, considering some of those others would be out there. But Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, those would be some of the top ones I would list off. And Yelp, so as far as business profiles, Google My Business is not really viewed as social media by most, but it technically actually is. Google Plus used to be a social media channel Google ran years ago that a lot of businesses started to get on, at least creating, and then Google killed it about 1.5 years ago. And they changed it over to Google My Business posting. So right within your Google My Business that I spent quite a bit of time on, I know here, is the ability to do posts, which is very much like a Facebook post. And with software like Thryv, you can synchronize all your social media to one channel. So instead of going to Facebook and then Google and then LinkedIn and then Twitter and then Instagram and doing different social media management, this actually allows for you to sync them together, whatever ones you want to plug in there, and then have a posting plan in place that automatically posts it to all places you want to. And we can do the copywriting for you, or you can do it on your own. So again, you can manage social media on your own, or you can do it with software like Thryv. But having a good plan in place for social media and communication is key. And I highly recommend Google My Business, managing it, posting to it, Facebook, LinkedIn, at least at the core of any organization or business. The highest visibility, the highest numbers we see come from those channels. So that's I think the shortest answer for that question. And then an action button better than a registration link. Yes, I guess so. So in an email or in a message, is it better to have a message that has an action button versus just a simple link? And I would say the answer is yes. So I've got some different themes and templates examples here. Let me just look at this one real quick to show an example. So would we rather want this message to have just a link in here or a button like this? The answer would be a button whenever possible. More you can get attention to it with visual graphics. You can customize the color, customize logos and infographics, and you can hyperlink, of course. Yes, an action button would be better to drive action. You are going to see more clicks to it as long as you make it really action-oriented. Don't just put a word or phrase here. Make sure they understand what's going to happen when they click there, what you're inviting them to do. Schedule now, click to schedule. Using things like that are very, very helpful, and you'll find that you'll get better response rates when you do that. Visit your client portal. You're knowing what's going to happen when that's there. So great, great question. And then let's see here. I need to sign off. Okay, great. Well, thank you, Karen. So that was the last of the questions, I believe. So any other questions or anything, other information that we can share with you guys today? If not, I think I'll open it back up to Amani. And again, thank Betsy and Megan for having us join the Glenview Chamber's presentation today. And we hope this was valuable. Everybody gets information. Feel free to share. We'll have the link provided as well of the recording. And Amani, I'll open it back up to you to close us out. So thank you so much, everyone.
Brad, thank you. This was amazing. Lots and lots
thank you.
Packed into
We have even more information to share. But if anyone has any questions or wants to schedule a one-on-one with Brad and I or just me, I'd be happy to do that at any time. There's my information. I will also be sending out a thank you and then my cell number and any of my information to schedule with me if you'd like to. But I appreciate all your time, and I appreciate, thanks again to the Chamber for having us. Thanks for everyone for attending, and I hope, like Brad said, that this was very helpful and can help you, even if it helped you in one way. It would be great.
Well, and we appreciate it. You are kicking off our month of digital marketing and social media. And it's a great way to start. We've got 3 other presentations that are getting scheduled in the next 3.5 weeks. So those of you who are on the call, don't miss the opportunity to learn about a different area and a different way of providing more social media and digital marketing opportunities. So thank you both very much. This is great.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Stay safe, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.